Hi everyone. Hello everyone. Am I audible? Great, thanks. So when one trades pullbacks, one can broadly classify them as two in like one can look at it in two different ways, right? One is anticipatory, which means that there is no sign of the start of momentum yet, but you enter because you think that it is possibly going to break out tomorrow or day after, like very soon, right? So in that case the pullback would be called as anticipatory. Just a moment, I'll take this call. Hello. Hello. Huh. Sure. Can you please message me the name? Hmm? Okay. Thanks. Bye bye. Half an hour, ek ghanta max. Okay. Bye. Hell. Hi. Sorry about that, guys. So what I was saying is that there are two ways to look into that. Look into when one trades a pullback, right? So one is anticipatory, which is basically, let's say if one would enter Adani Power today, that would be an anticipatory entry, which means that this looks very soon that it is going to break out in the open, and also looks like some sort of a stop volume kind of a candle. Now another one is basically where you have a uptrend, then there is a pullback, and then you already have a candle where the the strength is already visible, and we will get to some examples of that already, right? So there are these two ways to uh, um, trade a pullback. So just putting it out there. Some in the group I know likes to anticipate, some in the group likes to get in when there is a already a strength visible. So I for one likes to trade the strength in a very bullish condition, because I don't want to wait 2-3 days, which might then convert into a week or so in a bullish condition, because I know that there is something else which is already moving. Whereas in a sort of a sideways market, anticipation is good. Like for example, ITI. ITI moved today, and day before I also posted about this, and it was look to like, although it's a elaborate base, not exactly a flag, not exactly a pullback, but something like that, like anticipatory versus confirmatory. Okay, so this whole list is the pullback list, and so there are so many of them setting up. So I thought like I would discuss some of the A grade setups, and it could fall into one of the two categories which we've discussed. So Adani Power looks really good. So what I'll do is I'll just go one by one and just say, okay, this looks good to me and this doesn't look good to me. If someone needs to know the answer why, if I don't explain everything, then one you can ask me. Okay, so Adani Power looks really good. Why? Because like I said, the flags which form the mask just below or just above the resistance, they are the ones which I like really well, because when the breakout comes, then you know that it's just not a normal flag breakout, it's also like a breakout out of a huge resistance, which then adds meaning to that breakout, right? And also you can see that it's such a nice price action, like the 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 candles are getting smaller and smaller, and even though one would like volume reduction here, with high volume also the price not going down, it means that, like, there is a very fierce amount of supply getting absorbed. um, so this guy is also like, I don't know if it's an IPO base or not, but again getting contracted. Okay, so this one is also I like. This is something which I already hold here, and very soon this sort of the moment I see the positive DI turning plus also already the base looks very good from this volumes drying up. So this guy is also really good. Like one can see that there was a prior uptrend T1, the second T now, and the moment it crosses above this, yeah, like if it is just around 3 to 4%, that's a very good entry. Anthony Waste, like this is like peak, matlab, this is really peak. As you can see that this breakout, this is a flag which is just above the resistance. And what's the resistance? This is like a on IPO based breakout ka resistance. Breakout ke baad it is now flagging. Like this is such a peak setup. I don't know why I don't have a GTT yet. Like I don't know. But this is A1. Bajaj Hindustan, another A1 setup. Like would probably like to have, sorry, mm, would probably like to have gotten here or somewhere. But again, this is now setting up. Really nice, really tight. Like I can understand someone like Steph trading this. Another one, black box. You see, big base breakout, give you a follow through, and then again coiling. See the volume, like how this guy contracted. This is also small flag contraction. Then 3 days of momentum burst, and now it's again setting up for another 3 to 5 days of momentum burst, possibly. Um, Need some time to build a base. So 3 to 5 days is still like not great. I would like a little bit higher. Again, BF utilities. Don't know what this guy does, but really nice. Like really nice. You see, supply dried up, and now starting to strength in terms of volumes and buying starting to come up. And this would be today was just uh, a breakout, like sort of a cheat entry, and also like start of the momentum. The problem with these guys are like 5% movers, so you can't size it up high. What a nice move. Like I think we had a LR here and then again here, and really nice move. I mean, Canara Bank is looking good, also because it's at the all-time high. Uh, Not sure the banking thing. What are the implications, and also I will not comment on this. Need some time. Need some time. So whenever you buy a pullback, at least in my opinion, have it test the 10 MA, 10 DMA. If it is 21 10 both together, it's really good. But generally, I would like things to test the 10 DMA. Like this one, for example, car trade. See, Kaplan Point and car trade are very similar setups. It's just that I think this guy needs one more day, and probably in couple of 2 or 3 days, this guy will be ready. Uh, yeah, yeah. You always look for volumes, volume dry up. Kerry Sill, man, this guy is amazing. So if you miss this one horizontal line breakout, let me go to weekly, and this will be more clear. So Kerry Sill was a clean sort of an inverse head and shoulder continuation base, and it broke out and then found support in the previous high. And first week, second week, no volumes, almost no. And like hopefully by the end of the week, the total volumes here would be less than the previous volume, so it will be like even more, like a really nice flag on the daily. But again, could 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 start the momentum anytime soon. The 10 DMA is now supporting CDSL, are setting up again. Uh, this should be another. This should present another point of entry. Central Bank of India. I like this one better because you see this was the point where it had a trend change, also the DTL breakout, and now it's again uh, breaking out and then taking support at the key moving averages with very small candles as well as no volumes. Uh, Previous resistance now turning support. Not so great. You have a better setups. Signity just amazing, like just wow, like just looking like a wow. So in here, see, one can say that this is still, if one enters here, this would still be an anticipation setup, right? Because you haven't seen the strength come in clearly. But I would say this is a little more than an anticipation, because you have the GTT firing, which GTT fires when there is a strength coming back in, like increasing. Okay, and so this is like a A11, double A plus setup. Like this is not just A plus, double A plus, right? So huge, small pullback, and the pullback has cost very less volume, and now a green candle. The green candle is higher than the 10-day moving average, and hopefully the momentum continues. Also closed around 80% of the daily candle, and so this probably tells you that uh, the tomorrow this guy could now um, breach the Mars, this one. So it's really uh, khatarnak setup in my opinion. I mean, this is a good setup, but I don't know what's this. I've never heard this. So something as this is something one can anticipate. Like for example, there was 3 days of down move and 21 day pe support liya, and today's low is also higher than yesterday's low, and this is a inside bar, right? So if you really like credit access and you know things, then this high could be your pivot, and an anticipation would be just to enter. Someone has a question. What is the earnings table which we can use? No, you cannot use. If you are not in HPA, you cannot use MS. Thanks. Um, CSL again. This was an attempt, but a brutal slap on the top. But again, the setup is still okay, right? DB Corp. This is one of the best. Like one of the best. मतलब इससे बढ़िया नहीं मिलेगा. It's a prior uptrend, um, and then you see coiling T1, T2. This is possible T3, and so the moment if it like gaps up, strong start, and then breaks this guy, that is your entry. And as in confirmation, you could also find that the positive DI crosses the 25 again, which means that the momentum is now getting better, or the Mars indicator crosses the EMA, the 9-day EMA, right? So this is again a really peak setup. So Dinora is not exactly a pullback guy, but you see what's happening here. Possibly an island reversal will happen here. So here there was an earnings downgrade, and then very nice, and again the earnings were really good, and then we had a gap up. Now if it sort of gaps up, so this will be a place which will so this kind of reversals are called island reversal. They'll be very strong, and it looks much ready to me. So this is a small, like, sort of, it's a very tight area, and the volumes are like almost none. um, Dredge Corp. Although this is not a flag, but you see what's happening here. This is how you should anticipate a breakout, right? So this was a downtrending channel, downtrending channel. So, and after the third touch, it is refusing to go and again test the channel support, where it's sort of going sideways and coiling around the resistance. So a breakout of this is like going to be a very high probability breakout, right? So this is what I said about the when I started to begin talking today. There are two kind of pullbacks you can trade. One is like an anticipation wherein the strength hasn't come back yet, and this is a confirmation, right? So this is the flag pullback to 20 2050, and then you had a gap up. So this today would have been a valid entry. Elecon engineering. So here, so this is not just a flag pullback to 21. This is also part of a bigger setup, which chart pattern, which is called a cup and handle. And if you want to be more specific, cup and handle also contains a double bottom, and this is a legit structure which William O'Neill also described. And right now, I think it's almost finishing the bottom, and the triple B also suggests that, like, an impending up move is probably going to start or has already started. So really nice again. From somewhere electrical products, I mean, the whole thing has some sort of tailwinds. This is not exactly a pullback, but see, this was the pivot, and then right now it's going sideways, and so any sort of breakout out of this. Again, this is not a A1 setup, so I will not talk about it much. So I will only like sort of discuss and tell you more about the A1 setups. Okay, again, could do well if it breaks out, but I just don't like the volume here much. Again, focus from a this is a A1 setup. uh, 1 2 3 4 5 days of inside bars. This is the main bar. um, then you have an inside bar, then you have an inside bar, then you have an inside bar. All of these are like sort of inside this, right? So what this means is like a volatility contraction. Inside bars are basically volatility contraction in a smaller time frame. So if you see here, T1 T2 and possibly the bounce from the base of T2 here. And so this is a valid setup, right? This is a good setup. So genius paper. So this is what I was trying to tell you about. So this is a pullback setup, but a confirmatory pullback setup. माने क्या? ये अप मूव के बाद जो पुलबैक आया, पुलबैक के बाद अभी मतलब you now have the strength, and this strength will most probably uh, relay into a move which could go on for 2 3 days. So basically that's a momentum burst in daily. Gujarat mineral. So this is again another A1 setup. You can see that, although I mean, this whenever I see names like this, I remember Pradeep Bonde's lectures and his YouTube videos. Okay, if you go and look at his momentum burst setups, he always looks for things like this, things like this, things like this, and whenever there is a 4% or above move, then at that time he enters there and a low of the day. So this is exactly fits the bill exactly. And the thing which I really like is also that, there's a very, I mean, the indicator, it's the momentum indicator, also suggests that, the momentum is very slowly coming back in, and hopefully whenever this guy breaks out, this guy will also start inching up. So just like a couple of other triple A, double A, triple A plus setup, this you can also pin it there. um, this is another good setup. Like, this is really nice. So you see, uh, prior uptrend T1, and this is almost looks like Map My India. Gravita again. This is also really nice. It The only thing is because it's already so extended, but Gravita is already extended because it's a great stock, right? It's almost double or tripled. So again, 7.5% is a little too stretched for the kind of entries which I'm discussing, but this is a confirmatory entry after like this. So and see, a lot of stuff which I have shown you today would be standing here, where here, right? And what happens here is that okay, this like still going on, and then the Mars is still below the EMA, and when the actual breakout comes, you can see that what happens is that the confirmatory signal is like Mars has gone above, and this guy has gone above 25. So those are the confirmatory signals which one can see if you are not very sure about अच्छा ये वाला अच्छा है कि नहीं है. So I think that's why at the beginning one should always take confirmatory, and once you take more confirmatory setups, I mean this is also a good one, GTPL. Once you take more confirmatory trades, then you will understand how stocks move. Oh, like this looks ready, this doesn't look ready, so Gufik bias signs. This is also a very nice setup, although it's only 2 day ka pullback, but it is nice because it is, although the 1021 is very far, but it is legit. There is a structural reason where there might be a bounce from this area, and that legit structural reason is this previous resistance. Okay, so again there are like pullback money, pullback to a certain area which has the possibility to act as support, and that can be not just moving averages. Okay, and as you can also see from the Goofich one, so you see yesterday से आज का थोड़ा strength ज़्यादा था. You see the Mars is now pointing towards up. So these are the small things which you can this guy is a very nice. Again you see this the flag is at the mouth of previous O'Neill base high, which means that once this breaks out, it will not just suggest a breakout of the flag, but it also will suggest a breakout of this base, which now looks like a cup and handle base, right? So again, EPS percentage and all, it looks really good. So yeah, Hariom pipes still setting up. Don't like it yet. HCG again. This is a very nice one. Again, just like I explained, Gulf oil. This is also not just a flag, but flag at the previous resistance, which means that the breakout of it will have more solid. So again, this is the same like cup, and this is basically a cup and handle. So Hindalco Industries, this is also a really nice this one, breakout day, inside bar, inside bar, inside bar, right? So अभी हो जाएगा इसके ऊपर breakout. I'll probably show you an example, something like this, exactly which broke out today, and the name is Ayyo, please, where are you? Um, oh, come on. It's a very nice example. Windlass. So now you, oh, this is weekly. So now you see the structure which I'm just showing you, which is Hindalco Industries breakout, 1 2 3 inside bar, and now you compare to this breakout 1 2 3 4 5 inside bar, and then again the start of the momentum today. Although it was slapped, but this has started. Like this is clear sign that okay, ready for the next up move. So similar thing will come here. हाँ बताओ, who's this? Hi Mangesh. This is actually the scanner. Yeah, so this is a pullback, 10 21 50. Actually 10, there is nothing on 10. This is actually I have four different pullback scanners from different angles, And so I have collated everything. Sometimes I run this just to see like how things are setting up. Yeah, yeah. And so all of them will not be like exactly very nicely pulled back. Again, this is all high tech is also nice. Home first is also very nice. This is like a this is like a this is like a the mast has extended now a little bit, but the the more extended the mast, then you it's a bigger base, right? And bigger base will the the move from bigger base is actually better. HPL is sort of ready. This is a tight area again. Um, and see whenever it becomes ready, then you can see confirmation from this guy. So this guy just went above 25, and the red is continuously going down. Mars is also now about to break above zero. HSCL, like fucking hell, like this is beautiful. Like T1, T2, possible T3, doesn't matter. This is the pivot. Hoodco, not so great, but again, like tradable, but again, not like an A1 setup. See, the downside to taking anticipatory entries are like something like this will happen, right? Until here, it looks oh great, great, great. Although this is not so great. Just an example. So IFL security, really, really good setup. Like really good setup. um, yeah, anything above this, like why pullbacks are good, because pullbacks are good to also a very nice way to average up. So for example, if you had already been trading this guy from here or here, one could average up right now with a very minimum risk. IITL, um, Imagica. So Imagica is a setup which is actually really good. Now you see, this is a DTC. This will be going to be a DTC breakout, right? And so यहाँ से this is the middle of the channel, and then this was a shakeout, and then once this guy breaks out, that is again possibly the start of a bigger this one. And everything moves in everything is cyclical, so the relative strength is also cyclical, and you can also see from the this graph. And there is a predictability to the cyclical nature also. You can see that यहाँ पे आया, यहाँ से ऊपर आया, तो strength is increasing. Once it sort of moves to 40-40 region, again the strength is like diminished and starts to move back. So right now it's at the stage where one can anticipate a coming back of strength, although again not an A1 setup, but there are really good ones. That's the point. So this guy is a very good base, like very good base. And so when this guy sets up better, अभी तक वो इतना better नहीं हुआ है, because these guys are -3 -2 is still like a big red candle. But the moment it sort of turns up and again like gets tighter, that would be really great. Inox wind, again this is now setting up like uh, these two bars are like sort of inside bars, and just see like point 0.02 0.06, you know and see the volume. So another burst will come. So this guy, so again this is again a clean pivot. If you couldn't make an entry today, this possibly is the start of a momentum today, and tomorrow morning sometime this guy will alert. But but because sort of we identified this early, one could have already made an entry today, and that would have been like a little bit of an early entry, right? Inox wind, a flag in making. um, this is again a very nice flag. uh, because there is no sort of contraction and all, so that's why you don't know ki how long it will go. So it's very difficult to take anticipation entry where there is like no structure to the mast. So so better in this case, you know, to just take an entry when the actual strength is coming back. But a great flag, like you see 3422 and 3289 k beach. It's going since 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 10 12 this one. So JB Chem Farm, again a nice flag again, because it doesn't have much wo. So there is sort of no way to anticipate कि अभी आएगा, except for the fact that okay, let's say the volumes again to for next 2 days also keep on getting smaller and smaller. So at that time we can then anticipate कि भाई इससे नीचे तो नहीं जाएगा, right, volume. And so definitely little bit of buying will also propel the stock upwards. But nonetheless, A1 setup, Jindal photo. So this is amazing, like, and again you can also little bit anticipate in this case because holding companies are flying like crazy, like, so sort of using that angle, also seeing okay this EPS and all, everything, sales, everything is going crazy, and bring in the fact that after this up move there is sort of T1 T2 T3, I mean sort of T1 and T2, and then also see that the volumes are like almost none, right? So after this up move 1 2 3 4 4 days of like almost nil volumes. So this is basically one can anticipate and already put a GTT around here, right? And you can also see that there is a positive divergence in the relative strength, where you see that this uh, the, the you have a sort of a double bottom kind of a this one in the Mars. So if you ask me, in my opinion, I'm very biased that this guy is, you know, going to make a क्या बोलते हैं, expansion. So again another one here, but like I said, uh, these are it's better to enter at the day of the move, like 3-4% move. Jubilant Industries. So this is not exactly a flag. Where are my? Huh. So this is not exactly a flag, but this is a great reversal pattern. Mane, and this is basically an ascending triangle as a reversal pattern, right? Or you can also say symmetrical triangle. So the thing with symmetrical triangle is like should wait for the actual breakout. Yeah. Um, Whenever I see this, I remember Hiren Gabani. JWL. So this guy started yesterday, and probably will start will only stop around here. And when that flags at the time, one can anticipate, because it's very difficult to catch this guy when it's moving because of the circuit thingy. Jyoti Labs is good. JNK Bank is also good. Like again, this is the, like, when there is clear pivot, probably wait for the pivot breakout. Um, Inverse head and shoulder as a reversal pattern. Clear pivot. So clear pivot, but again, even before it breaks out, if tomorrow it crosses this today's high, that's an entry, because that's a legit entry. We already have got some sort of confirmation by this guy coming up, and tomorrow when that happens, this guy also will come up. And these after a huge long-term consolidation, these breakouts are really nice. And this is not just that, it's also like a DTC breakout, and DTC breakout which is at least 1 or 2 months long. So then what happens is that bigger the base, the momentum burst which accompanies after the bigger base is also possibly longer, right? KCP. Look, like this is very tight. Again, like I think this is a pump stock. So just like Shakti pumps and all, like they have some sort of a tailwind or something. But again, this is very ready, right? This is ready. Like इससे छोटा और नहीं हो सकता, 0.04 से छोटा नहीं हो सकता है. And इससे कम वॉल्यूम नहीं हो सकता है, like at some point of time the volume will come, and when that volume will come, that is going to be selling volume or a buying volume. And probability says that there is more than 50-60% chance that volume will be a buying volume because of the general structure of the stock, right? And so then in that case one can sort of anticipate कि भाई मतलब 1 2 3 4 5 दिन हो गया है, 10 MA is also catching up, एक दिन फटेगा. So for example, if when this guy gets up, you get a 10% move, and even you have to like stay for 2 or 3 days, then that's I think a good give and take, for your time. Kfin, again there is a little bit of ऊपर जा रहा है, like this is wedging up, but this is clear strength, right? But not an A plus setup because of the wedge up. Not an A plus setup, but again this is a base which is wedging up and getting now tighter at the left side of the base. So now you see, whenever you see stock like this, you see how the relative strength is. So relative strength started from here and increasing, and यहाँ पे again it's now at the place where that cyclicality sort of will play out, right? So relative outperformance was peaked, then it slowed down, and now it's probably going to start to peak. If that is the case, then a breakout out of this will be the start of that. Keval Kiran, same thing, started sort of flattish, possibly the start. Kothari Petro, again very nice pullback here, very nice. Like again, because the pole is already small, then you cannot expect more than 2-3 days of this one, right? If you're a short-term trader, and if you're not a short-term trader, why are you even like looking at the setup like this? It doesn't matter. Lincoln Pharma, another great name. Long base, I mean relatively long base, led to a relatively longer momentum burst, and after a long base breakout, then the bases also get small. So if you see the previous one, 1 2 3 4 5 6 day आ गया, 1 2 3 4 5 possible. This is a possible so marine electricals is, I don't there is something I don't like in here, there is something I don't like here, like and that stops me from calling it an A1 setup. But again, like for a short-term trader, this is a valid setup, right? So this was the big this one, and uske baad most of the action is between the range of this big candle, right? Had it been a green candle would have been better, but whatever. So this is the range, and the moment it breaks out of the range, that's the start of the new momentum. Medanta Global, this is again nice. Would have liked more lesser volumes here, but poised now. Yeah, this is also a nice setup. This is actually okay setup, but there is something which these two bars is just like thoda phika kar diya, but doesn't mean that this will not work. Okay, Just a psychological thing this creates in my mind. I know it's psychological because I know this guy has potential to move up. NCC. So this was a start of this was a double bottom base breakout today, and yeah, don't know what this is. Nelcast. Mm, Nesco. Again, these guys which have so much strength, they will not spend much days doing this. Okay, so if you have little bit of क्या बोलते हैं उसको conviction on this, because I absolutely don't in terms of fundamentals. I don't know what this guy is, but many of you who knows this, who sort of know that, oh, this guy was on the back of something. uh, this is such a easy setup to trade. Like, you just set up, if you already have, you just set up a GTT above this high. hmm? Or if you still haven't, whenever this guy is crossing this, that's your entry. Like, this is very easy, like one of the most easiest setups to trade. NMDC, like today, this was the start of the momentum. Like, almost almost sure that this up move is coming. Now, why I'm saying that, because this is not just a 10-day pullback. This is also a pullback to the previous high, right? So this is really a plus A1 setup, nucleus. Pullback a little more than to my liking, but if it tightens up, flattens around the 50-day, good setup, good. Electra was a double bottom base breakout today. um, just if God is willing, and if he gives you 2-3 days of tightness here, that's an anticipation setup. Orbit Express, don't know what this guy does, but great pullback setup. Like, this is great. Like, 1 2 3 4 5 days of flag, a pole with huge volumes. Then, like, almost, this is probably like 38 38% pullback to, yeah, pullback to 0.5, 38.5 level of Fibonacci, and then triple B. One could, because triple B is already there, one could uh, uh, make an anticipatory pullback this one. But if not, this is your clean pivot. Like, if this guy goes above that, then that means that ye abhi start of a new momentum, right? And see the volumes, man. There is nothing. Like, there is nothing. Just imagine this volume, 24,000. I mean, for some of you, this might be a little क्या बोलते हैं उसको, not so good to trade if you're moving huge amounts of money. But for small term people like us, this still is tradable, right? Someone had a question. uh, What's the earning, Trevor? Haha, sorry. Okay. Patel Engineering, Prakash, and please share the list. Want to go over it on WhatsApp? Sure, Kunal. I'll do that. Patel Engineering flag pattern breakout in weekly time frame. Yeah. So this one's a great triple A plus setup. Orchid is okay. Don't know what this is, but looks like 3T VCP. Not great. Not great. Okay, so Paisalo. So this is because it's from a very nice this one industry. You can see that this imagine this now. Imagine this, if and tell me if this doesn't look like a cup and handle. The only problem is that it is shifting towards the up. Now why does it shift towards up with the handle? Because it is very much sought after, right? So shifting, the sloping up doesn't always mean that is bad. Sometimes when stocks are very strong, even the basing period looks like that it's like sloping up, right? So Orion Pro was an example recently. So this is actually strength, and so this is a base with a slightly positive slope. PDS. Now, this is what I call, again, so there will be some level of disagreement, but this is sloping up because there is some strength here. T1, T2, T3. This is A but anticipation at the base of 30, right? So this is a 3T VCP. So Plastivens. So Plastivens, this is uh, this is a this is a valid entry today because this is a way people also trade pullback, right? So you have a pull and then you have 3 to 7 days of continuous down day. So down day 1, down day 2, 3, 4, 4 days of down day with very less volume, right? So this is a ripe candidate for the entry. And on this day today, 3.6% up, green, fully engulfing the previous day, right? So this could have been an entry that would be almost like a borderline pullback reversal confirmation entry, or like still anticipation that this guy is following through. So yeah, this is the flag, and yeah, pull back to 10 very soon. It's gonna start. Pull back to 20. Yeah, Power Mac looks like it. This guy's not still has some things to say. This looks like a DTL, but I would again, this is a tight area, but ठीक है, चलेगा. PPL. This was one entry, uh, and this is probably like now second T. And when that from the base of the second T is moves up, that would be another pullback entry. Premier Poly, just awesome, like just awesome. The 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 21 EMA is just like a palm of your hand and supporting it. And today there is triple B, and there is no volumes. So which means that there is no transaction here, but still price is not going down because there is no supply, you know. And even with a little more of buying, this guy will shoot. Like you see this day, there was not much volume, but still it gave you a 20% UC because there is no supply. Because there is no supply, right? And yeah, so people who like UC should have this guy in top of their list. Yeah, so until yesterday it was a very nice pullback setup. Today pullback came, and yeah, I mean this is very like small market cap. They will not give you. It's just a little tricky. That's why to to trade in the small cap, micro cap stocks. Quick heel now. Now, if you already entered here, this is a valid point where you can average up. Okay, so this is a very nice setup now, and it looks like a cup. And now this is the handle. Again, some people will say the handle always has to be below the cup ka high. Bullshit. Like it's sloping up because it has strength. People are too interested in this stock. Radhika Jewel Tech at the base of 2T, and today would have been a great anticipation entry. That this guy is probably going to start another one, and yes, it can come and face resistance at around 52, 53, but then the next pullback that would be even shallower. You know. So I don't know how many of you are still with me, but we are almost at the end of the list. Rama Steel Tube was a good entry today. Good pullback entry today. Like really good. Confirmatory pullback entry today. Rupa and Co. And yeah, so this industry is now getting back, gaining some strength. So now you can see that this is a DTC breakout, and this guy is flagging right at the mouth of that DTC. Therefore, this flag is not bad. Yeah, so this is like what IRFC is doing right now, what probably Tata Invest did before flying, what probably ITI will do. Uh, so this is a very nice setup. This one. Why this guy has a higher chance of starting the momentum here? Because this is not just a pullback to 1021, but it's also pulling back to the previous high, previous swing high. This will be more clear in the weekly here. um, just like Kerrysil, but Kerrysil was further up. This is still inside the base. So this is what Minervini would call a cheat pivot. The breakout of this high is an entry, but since it's already some days long, the breakout is very near. Yeah, so this is a confirmed sort of breakout, volume guy crossing, Ceylon is again like getting tighter and tighter as we move to the left. So just one T, possibly second T, third T. Very soon this guy is gonna break out, and my line would be this. The moment it closes above this, Senko is also again a very good base, although did not like this much, but again it's fine. Like it's a small cap. Sometimes this erratic action happens, but setting up again really nicely. 1021 holding, and it's ripe for an anticipation entry. Shakti Pumba, yeah, doing right now what many people don't like, but the setup is still valid. This low is still okay. It's still fine, very close to 1021, and the volumes are almost gone. This is not much selling. So any day it can like do something like this again. But again, like not like a triple A plus setup. Shall be like amazing, just amazing. Prior uptrend and then going sideways. Choto candle, and slowly green volumes are coming, but still some amount of supply still left, and any closing above this would be a confirmed entry. Yeah, this is also great, but I don't know the name of the circus stock is also great, forming a reversal pattern here. Possibly some sort of a ascending triangle of sorts. Great, another nice uptrend. T1, T2. One can anticipate now, but ठीक है, चलेगा. Spandana, not a great candle today. Excuse me. Styrenics. Yeah, so first pullback to the 20, then there's a bounce, and then again now coiling up. So this is a great setup. Not a pullback per se, but like sort of a cheat pivot. Nice setup again. But because it's like already, yeah, 2-3 दिन और थोड़ा टाइट होने से मज़ा आएगा. See what Talbros कल तक was like, oh ठीक है चलेगा, and suddenly like this is what happens. Like this is what happens when there is no supply left. But very difficult to trade this one. TD Power System. There was some news today. This would be a good base breakout again. Something like very similar to Titagar. Tega, Fatega, TFCI. Very close to a big base breakout. So Tidewater, after this big base breakout, it's now like flagging, and this structure would be, you will appreciate the structure more when you go to a smaller time frame. Then you will see that, hey, this guy is very like making a very nice flag. If I told you that this is not a 30-minute, this is one day daily chart, you would be more interested in this name. So yeah, but essentially the stuff remains the same. The supply demand dynamics remains the same. It's coiling, supply getting smaller and smaller. Some level of strength is visible now, and then hopefully it's gonna break out soon. Yeah, traction, nice pullback, nice pullback. Try turbine, flag, coiling, and start of the momentum today. These are names which are very easy to trade because of clean pivot, and that's why people like one horizontal line resistance, because it's very clean. ज़्यादा दिमाग नहीं चलाना पड़ता है उधर. I think we are very near to the end of the list. VBL. This was the day to trade this flag and consolidation. Wengi. World time, just wow setup, like just wow, like just looking like a wow. Yeah, so really amazing setup. This is very close to moving, like very close. 10, 21 near, very close to challenging the previous high. Very close. Wabak needs some time setting up. Websol needs some time. Well spun. This is also a very nice setup. Um, yeah. Um, really some time spent here going sideways. Had the 21-day EMA, and so if one gets an entry here, then your stop loss would be very small. This one. This was the day to trade. Today would have been an entry here. Windsor needs some more time, but very very constructive, like very constructive. 1 2 3 days of pullback. All 3 days had decreasing volumes. Exchanging solution. If you see the whole this is a big base, and this looks like a, one can say, a cup and handle, right? So uh, the momentum from burst from the handle, possibly today was the day, could have been an entry. See a bounce, this also crossed up. All right, I think, yeah, Zentek would have been an entry today again. No, so this is a pivot. This is a clean break out of the pivot. Bottom one, bottom two. Early entry. ZFC, oh, amazing base. U, this handle, cup handle, amazing. Okay, so that's the end of the list. HP folks, I'm gonna send you the list. If you guys have any pressing questions, I can take a couple of them.